All right, welcome back to May 2nd, part 2. I actually stopped the video so that in case anybody didn't want to watch the fabrication process, then that's fine. That was more informative. But this is kind of showing you exactly how I'm kind of making these ribs. So you can kind of see here we got our first piece here. It's about 12 foot. It's clamped to this piece here. And you can kind of see where it overlaps. And what I've done is we've clamped it down. We've drilled holes here, 1/8 inch holes, 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 where the other one ends. You can kind of see that 2 layers there. So what we'll do now is we'll flip this over because we don't want the rivets that we're going to put in these holes to, if there's a rivet where it sets on the C-channel up there, we don't want that rivet to be keeping it artificially high off the C-channel. We want it to sit flush. So we're going to put the rivets in backwards. And so just the rivet head, not the tail end of it where the ball expands the end of the rivet. Just the head, you know, if it does lift it a little bit, it's going to be nominal. It's not going to make a difference. But if you have that little bead, you can see that little bead comes up into the rivet and kind of locks the rivet in between the 2 pieces. Well, if that rivet's there, it's going to be, it leaves a little tail on there higher than what the head of the rivet would, which is right where my finger's at. Okay, so let me pause this here and I'll show you the riveting process. Okay, so I just flipped the steel over and just cleaned up the holes, made sure they aligned. You know, if anything was flexing while I was drilling in, the holes may not line up, and it makes it hard to get the rivets in there. So we've got it upside down. It's upside down. We got our other piece here, and we'll just take our rivet. Yeah, see, this is when they don't start lining up. Thought I had them all clear. Kind of hard to do with one hand. I need to sit up. There we go. Just push it in. Normally I'd have a vice grips on here to kind of make sure that that is sandwiched together good and tight, but it looks pretty tight right now. So we'll just take a squeeze. Another one. So it kicks out the stem. It pulls basically a stem through the rivet, and that little ball gets stuck inside and locks and kind of mushrooms out that other side. And this is what we end up with. So see how flat the head of that rivet is? If that sits on the steel, that's okay. But that side's much higher, and if this was on the back side where it rests on the steel, it could cause it could cause us to have like little ripples wherever it touches the steel. But it's not a big deal, but it's a little minor detail that I just don't want to have to deal with. So, so we'll put 2 at the very end here, and then we'll space them, about 18 inches, 12 to 18 inches apart. It's not really super critical, just as long as we get enough rivets in there to make sure that this attachment point, because where this one overlaps, the bolt in the C-channel is going to be right here. So it's going to be a little too short to get that upper piece attached to the C-channel. So rather than have it flopping around, we want to get it almost, be nice if we had like a tack welder. Just be like zzz, 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 and be done and have it tack welded together, but we don't have one, so we're going to use rivets. Do with what we can with what we have, right? Okay, so, and when we get that finished, this is what it looks like. This is a finished piece. This is 213 inches long. We actually only need about 212 and a half. But when we get it up there, we'll actually let it overhang a little bit if we need to, if it's too long. And we'll just come back with a grinder with a cutoff wheel, just zip that extra ½ inch off. Not a big deal. But you can kind of see the rivets here, how they're, going up and out. So that's kind of an old tower thing. Bolts always go up and out. So But then we take this whole thing, and when we get the track, we'll lay the track on here and fasten it with small little machine bolts, you know, every so often to tie it together. And then we'll take the whole component, put it up on the roof, drill down through the plastic, through the folded steel, through the C-channel steel, run one bolt down, boom, attach it, we're done. And then, you know, we lay our story sticks up there to space the next one. We grab another one that's got the plastic attached to it. We'll put that up there, put the story sticks on. That'll assure us that it's 6 foot on center perfectly, consistent with the last one, without having to measure. And then we'll do the same thing, clamp it on and drill our holes down through everything, through the C-channel at each juncture point, bolt them on, done. Move on to the next one. So until the tracking gets here, we're gonna try to prefabricate as many of these C-channel pieces. These are all the fresh ones. These are all the ones I've done so far. I think I've got 4 done today, 5, this will be 6, and I still got time left today before I have to go to my day job. All right, guys, I think we're making good progress. We won't get any more up onto the roof until we actually get the plastic in, but we're kind of doing this assembly line style. We'll get all this stuff fabricated, then put the plastic on it, and then put it all up. But we'll just, when everything's fabricated, just boom, 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 all the way down the greenhouse. And that means we're ready for fabric. So looking at a mid-June, mid-July, probably mid-July install date for the fabric. So we're pretty stoked about that. It's going to be sooner than we thought. And then we can start looking at how we're going to build the gull wings and attach them to the roof, since we've modified from the original, kind of the original plan here, where we didn't have to, we could just use the old mount points. But it's not going to be a problem. We'll engineer around it and make sure it's going to work, and then start fabricating those. Talk to you later.